still camped down and they're making things difficult for themselves.
Well, not the passes from dummy half in that first play. And Joondalup, well, they're make ground with their defence right now. Picks out Biddle to run at. What a solid defence. Well, there's a kick from deep in their own end. It's over the head of Herrera.
Good chase.
Tracks it back. Horner's the first one down there. Gets around her. Jenkins gets hold of the jersey. And a good shot at the end of it from Marshall. So now Fremantle just trying to get back in the territorial battle.
Yeah, they're really mussing up on defence here. Really trying to get that ball back in some good field position.
It goes back to Stevens. Stevens to Biddle. Pass goes to one. Who wants it? The Roosters get on it with Kayla Webb. Plays to Norton. Now here's a great chance for the Roosters to get there first. Runga stands in the tackle. Can't get the pass inside. Salford Salt. Now Horner. She goes nowhere that play.
First time we've seen Freo this close to the line in this half. See what they can do with the ball. Pretty one-out stuff at the moment.
Well, just a nice compressed defensive line for Joondalup. Handled that. It's Turner Wallace. Goes the pass back to Turner Wallace. She tries to go in. And driven back into the play. Longer to dummy half. Knocked backwards. Picked up by King.
We've got a penalty.
A penalty for Fremantle. Very, very late in the count. Do you know what that was for? Offside?
Could not see from here. Maybe inside the 10. Inside the
for the
put.
Turner Wallace gets back on it. Again. Off.
Well, they're playing with fire there. The Joondalup Giants. Referee Noonan known for putting the fingers in the and pointing to the sideline. They'll be lucky to stay on the field here.
Well, you wouldn't think you'd give another warning. They tap and go. Salt tips it off. They get to the middle of the field. Runga. Bit of push and shove.
There's a Barney on. Noonan's seen enough.
And that's it. That's a sin bin.
There's the spirit fingers we talked about earlier. Well, there was a bit of hair there from someone. I saw some hair coming down.
Well, that's what I thought it was, a little push and shove. Just, got a grip on the head. Fremantle are going to take the two.
That is a very interesting call, Donnie. You can hear screams from the bench.
Well, the watch judges are for the two.
Pointed.
They've said they've gone for the two. They have to take the two now. They're down 22.
I think it's too late now, ladies.
They're taking the 2 points. Who even considered the two?
Well, that's a fine at the end of the for that one. Are you better off to kick it wide, Donny, and then get the ball back? Like, the 2 points doesn't seem worth it at this point.
I don't understand this call at all.
Well, bit of rush of the blood to that.
Oh, if they win by 2 points, mate, they're just a genius.
Masterstroke. Well, and that's 2 points on the board for the Fremantle Roosters.
Well, they won't be beaten to nil.
22-2.
Well, the fact that there's a sin bin, Tara Riley sent to the sin bin for Joondalup, makes it even more curious because they had a numbers advantage, a chance to score 4 or 6. In any case.
Mind-boggling decision. But anyway, it's fish and chip pay now. Fremantle Roosters will have to score another 4 tries to get back in the front here with 20 minutes on the clock.
You might have to give me the skinny later if you hang around the club, mate, just to ask the question, what was the thinking behind that? In any case, the Roosters, they've got the ball and a chance to put on further points.
They look up for the task. They're excited. They're fired up. They're really pushing through the middle. Joondalup going to have to hold on.
Well, it feels like there's a hell of a lot of energy from both sides out here at the moment. Certainly both benches are up and about. You can feel the tide turning. Shelford Salt, look at her, she's still going.
Contact meters.
Still going. Plays the ball. Going right to the line. Webb. Moika gets up and shuts that down. And Ainsley puts it down.
Well, it was a pass to the hip. It didn't really hit the target, and Henry did her best, but unfortunately it wasn't quite enough, and Fremantle turn it over inside Joondalup's half once again.
It takes the wind out of the sails a little bit. They've been up and about for a while. Goes out. Stevens tips that on further.
Oh, and a high shot. With a 20-point lead and a player down, you imagine Joondalup will just go through the gears and just try and hold on to the ball and complete the sets as Nika Stevens takes the quick out to Edwards. Another barging run straight through the middle.
Warren, good from Shelford Salt. It's had some really nice moments in the last 5 minutes. It's Stevens. Just looking to take it forward. You said when you a player down, you just want to take that time off the clock as much as you can, and the more you can have the ball in your own hands, the better. So Stevens puts boot ball down into a corner, into a dangerous spot. It sits up and they come through and score.
Wow. Well, what a piece of work that was from Anika Stevens. Just a little chip over the fullback was a little bit out of position for Fremantle. And the winger or the centres, Donny, come straight through, scooped that up and said, thank you very much. There's another 4 points.
Yeah, I think it is the centre on that side, just trying to pick up exactly who it was that got the 4-pointer.
Just get the elephant out of the room here. That 2 points looks even worse now, Donny.
Yes, that's a cruel blow to concede points when you've got the advantage.
Often is the case case, though. Team scoring with a player in the bin. It seems to be happening more often. Stevens lines up the goal. It's waved away. 26-2. Joondalup cruising to the big dance next week. Well, they'll be happy with that. Grit and determination. The coach will be happy. A player down, odd stat against them, and they still manage to come up with points. The team, the coaching staff of the Joondalup Giants will be very happy with their side at the moment.
I'm not certain who scored that. I think it might be Zion Tarima, who's out on that side now. Zanika Stevens brings it back for the Giants with interest. It's Edward. Met solid by Horner. Also Peters underneath. It's Jupp.
Whoa.
That ball comes free. They just dive on it. Now the right from Warren runs into Horner. Solomon gets the pass back to Stevens. Stevens just looks to go through the middle. That's knocked backwards by Fremantle and then knocked on by Nina Retene. Well, that's terrible luck.
It's just not their day, the Fremantle Roosters. They're really trying hard in defence, putting some shots on, getting three in the tackle. The Giants seem to just keep popping through the quick play the ball. Anything that Fremantle throw at them, Joondalup have got the answer. So they push it out wide here. They've got numbers on the edge.
Well, she's gone, I think. Oh, somehow finds the grass and stays in the field of play.
Injured, I think.
Well, I think she head into the grass to stop her from going into touch.
Well, Horner come a long way to make the cover defence there. It was a great tackle in the end. But the Joondalup Giants coming up with answers yet again.
Well, Biddle isolated on that side of the field. Had to get rid of it. Solomon. Kennedy Joe Solomon will play the ball back to Herrera. Now to Warren. Warren looked outside, had no one to pass it to. Gets hammered. Herrera goes from dummy half and
short.
Must be just short on tackle 5. Puts it down on tackle 5, and you'd think there'd be no. I'll bring that one out for the handover, 10 out.
Jupp couldn't just quite hold the ball there. She's target on her, like you said, Donnie. As soon as she's come on the field, she's been rocked by a crack in Fremantle defence. Had a chance to dive over the line and really seal this game, but just couldn't quite hang on to it.
Well, the Fremantle Roosters, you feel that time is starting to become a big enemy of theirs.
On the clock, 12 to go.
And down 26 points to 2. Turner Wallace, pass to Norton, hits the deck. She still has plenty of time. The Giants weren't racing up in defence to put pressure on her, and gets a good kick away. Gets it down to Herrera, who looked like she'd scored only moments ago. Was just short. And Joondalup. A few players taking a while to get back on side as Warren is driven backwards. And they work down this side of the field. The commentary side. It's Frida Smith out there in 24. Harakura Shernak fresh out there, wanted a penalty. Gets nothing. Warren. She's got power of work. Warren. And plays the ball on 5. Goes to Stevens. She puts a kick again into no man's land. That one, the kind bounce for Fremantle.
Giants at full complement now with the Sinbin player returning. So we're 13 on 13, 10 to go.
Well, you feel like Fremantle didn't really make the most of that opportunity.
Now the 10 minutes just whizzed by. Not much happened in between. A few missed opportunities and some great play from the Joondalup Giants.
Now the Roosters come to the middle. Chopping tackle there on Rockford. Now Norton trying to kick into space. That one looks like it'll just run into touch. Well, that's not a bad play if you're trying to take time off the clock and you're leading 26 points to 2. Maybe not when you're behind 26 to 2.
Absolutely. They're really thinking of having to chance their arms, the Fremantle Roosters. They need points and fast. That clock is ticking and it's not stopping.
Yeah, it still feels like they're trying to get into the grind and trying to grind their way back into this game. They're trying to finesse their way back in. They've really got to throw caution to the wind, and there's plenty of it.
Yeah, they seem to be playing catch-up football. Kickoff never really got into the contest. And as much as the middle right and a few individuals have really pushed hard to try and get a result, Fremantle Roosters have not been in this game.
Well, this is a great opportunity again for them. Tanika Stevens trying to fire up her defence for one big set. It won't be too long before their attention starts to turn to next week. They'll know they'll have a real contest up against the Ellenbrook Rabbitohs. And just about every grand final we've had in the women's competition has been Joondalup Ellenbrook. I think Fremantle got their.
The Giants will be determined not to let Freo in.
Henry just bites down on the mouth guard, charges into them. Leave a few in a wake.
There's no
one. Well, was trying to find Georgia Bett holding a width. Unfortunately, Georgia Bett was not holding. She was a long way infield.
Maybe the touch he called for it. Another squandered opportunity there for the Fremantle Roosters. Hand the ball over in a good field position once again. Joondalup Giants just answering any knock the Roosters have brought away.
Now with Biddle, inside in Herrera. Norton stays on and makes the tackle. Warren, dummied inside to Wiley. Put down onto her back. Now with Tanika Stevens, she puts that up in the air. Going to be taken, and it's taken nicely. Over on that right-hand touchline.
Real energy about this Giants pack now. They can smell the Gardens next weekend and they're getting excited, starting to get the upper hand.
Well, they're just counting down the seconds now. And the job's done for the Giants. This might be the last few minutes for the Roosters as Norton, who's had a good season, tries to split through the middle. No way through. Atwell puts boot to ball. Herrera, the kind, up nicely. Thinks about taking them on down that side. Just the tackle. Well, the Giants, they've come up with an error. Slamming the ball down, Treeby. Not happy with the mistake.
Well, 6 short minutes on the clock. What can Fremantle conjure back the last minutes of this game and try and put some respect on a great season for them?
Any time you can make a preliminary final,
absolutely,
it's a season you back on with some fondness. As Marshall scores one.
Big, don't argue.
That was Porter that got left behind. Now the ball hits the deck. That's all backwards and play on. 6 more, says referee Noonan. Corner. Spins towards the line. Driving. The captain wants one. Can't get there. Short pass. Again, good defence.
It really has. The Joondalup stood up big time in defence.
They go from dummy half and Peters tries to just power them over the line.
We've got a penalty. Inside the 10.
Again, they must be having a lot of trouble just putting a foot on the line because it's about the 3rd or 4th offside penalty from a metre out. It's hard to, if you're not at dummy half, you're onside. Now Atwell goes out to King. King goes wide to Marshall. Great defence. Oh. They've come up with the ball and the referee says stripped out. So Roosters with Marshall. The defence of the Joondalup has been spectacular. Peters tries to just barge over, but again, Joondalup up to the task. Runga bounces away from Warren. Can't get away from Stevens. They've got some numbers to the right. That's the way they go. Out of dummy half, but going across is Jetta. Now they come back towards the middle. Runga to Horner.
Joondalup holding on once again.
Well, one tackle left. Goes to Norton. Norton fires it out. There was plenty of Giants defence. It's picked by Ray. And that, well, Fremantle ran out of ideas at the end.
Yeah, absolutely. That Joondalup great confidence heading into next week and into the grand final. A goal defence like that, that was what, 3 sets on the line, managed to hold them out. And as you said, Fremantle Roosters just lost for ideas.
Well, I think the surprise at the end of that set was Fremantle did a field goal.
Well, there's enough penalties to warrant another 2 being taken. The option was there. In all seriousness, some great defence from the Joondalup Giants, and they're going to work it out and slowly grind this game out. Can't be much left on the clock. 2.5 minutes to go. And that looks like the end of Fremantle's season and next week for the Joondalup Giants.
And I think it was supposed to be a tap, but I think Lamb's just going, oh, whatever. Just get, that'll do. Now, right in the centre of the field. They're in the muddiest part of the field. Stevens going half. Wants to put the cherry on top.
Great run.
She's playing up tempo. Goes to Biddle. Biddle goes to the line. Inside pass. Herrera trying to pull through the tackle. Chopped down. Norton. Make sure she completed the tackle. Now Edwards. On tackle 5.
Can they close it out with another 4-pointer? Really put the icing on the cake.
It's going to go out on the full from Anika Stevens. Well, even she can laugh at that. There wouldn't be too many scenarios where Anika Stevens would laugh at a kick like that, but this is one of them, leading 26 points to 2 with a minute left on the clock in a preliminary final. They've got the job done and done it well.
Really well. They've played as a unit. They've played as a team off the back of a forward pack that really just went forward all day, and everything that Fremantle threw at them, they just shrugged it off, got up and kept on going. So big confidence going into next week. The Joondalup Giants, they'll be looking for a repeat.
I know. Saw a few of the Ellenbrook Rabbitohs players around earlier today, so they'll be watching this with keen interest, knowing that well, they're certainly going to have a task on their hands. They are to lift the Premiership trophy. The Giants look to defend their crown. Fremantle trying to come up with something and still there for a chance. And they're going to come back for that first knock on. They're not going to pack the scrum in time. It's the full-time siren sounds. And the Joondalup Giants are through to the 2024 Grand Final with a 26-2 win over the Fremantle Roosters.
Comprehensive win. Great job done by the Joondalup Giants. They'll soak it up tonight, get back to training during the week, and I'm sure they'll enjoy next week and hope for a repeat performance.
Well, absolutely. I mean, that's a big one to look forward to. The Joondalup Giants, the Ellenbrook Rabbitohs, one of the huge games next weekend, Dorian Gardens. I mean, do you have an early tip? A Joondalup good enough to get the win on the grand final day?
Yeah, well, I think if they played the way they did today, as a unit, as a pack, and off the back of the great forward pack they've got, I think they can go all the way. So I'm going to tip the Joondalup Giants next week to take it out.
Well, I think it's going to be a very stern test. It's one that I think will go down to the wire. Might be another golden point thriller. That's I'm not going to give you a winner yet. You'll have to wait till next week for that. But it could go either way. I think it's going to be a fantastic game. Really looking forward to it. Repeating in the Westpac Women's Premiership preliminary final, it's the Joondalup Giants booking their place in the decider with a 26-2 win over the Fremantle Roosters. Thanks very much for joining us. And we'll be back with their fuel to go and play Premiership in, well, about 10, 20 minutes' time. See you then.